Welcome to this epic disaster. We are going to be doing a show that is a little different from normal.
Unusual.
Slightly.
I would say unusual.
And it's not just because Sherry's drinking out of a really, really dirty glass.
Shut up. I don't care. I would lick.
That's disgusting. I don't know. Well, actually, you could drink your martini. Is that a martini?
It's a lavender Tom Collins.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's really good.
Well, we're going to start with a live beer review. What are we having today? This is interesting.
Today we are having something. I think this is the last. Is this the last beer that CJ brought, or is this the beer that you bought?
No, I bought that.
Okay,
I did.
so Rick
That's from
bought
Krog
this.
Street Market. My question is, can you do that in the ubby-dubby language? That right there.
Double chocolate. What?
Double chocolate.
Double chocolate stout.
Can you do it in the ubby-dubby language?
No, I can't. I'm really bad at the ubby-dubby
Double
language.
chababakabalabicket.
Look at you.
I didn't really quite do it.
No, you didn't.
Chocolate is hard to do in ubby-dubby.
Double.
Shabakalabaleket. I'll be back next week and tell you the proper pronunciation.
Try the veal. Or don't, because veal is awful. Okay. So
Double chocolate.
This is Young's Double Chocolate Stout. It's a malt beverage. Ew. I mean, aren't all stouts malt beverages?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I can feel the little plastic thingy in there. You know how there's a thingy in there.
There is not.
Yeah, the Guinness.
Feel it.
There's a little.
There's a thingy in there.
I don't believe you.
Shut up. Malt
I
beverage
just think that's
brewed
the double chocolate.
with real chocolate and natural chocolate flavor added.
And a thingy.
And there's a thingy in there.
I see.
The original dark beer brewed with real chocolate. Oh, why do they put that on there twice on the same page? It's like on the front of the can. It's on there twice.
Crack it open and let's have it.
Alcohol by volume is only 5.2, so it's weak.
All right.
But, whatever.
But it's double chocolate, so that's good.
Yeah, we're going to... It's like dessert.
Let's crack it open.
See, there went the plastic thingy.
I don't think so.
I felt it.
All right. Let's open it up. We'll have a plastic thing. And you know what we need to do?
We need to introduce our guest.
We have a special guest this week while we're pouring the double. Wow, it actually looks like chocolate.
Well, that's because the nitro thing is all fuzzy.
Oh, it is nitro.
Yeah,
okay, so I
told
take
you.
it back. It does have a thingy in it.
Give me the thing.
If yours tastes like spaghetti sauce, it's because you're drinking in a dirty glass.
I like spaghetti and chocolate. I mean,
Wow,
that's not a
it
bad
actually
thing.
looks like chocolate milk.
For a minute,
That's
it does when
amazing.
you first pour it in.
Oh,
So
look
today,
I'll be hypnotized. It's like ASMR in a glass, right
he's
there.
going to have fun visualizing his beer while I
It's like a lava lamp.
Shut up.
Have you ever drank a lava lamp?
No, but I've broken one.
Oh, that's
all
not
over the
fun.
carpet in my floor.
They're really hot.
Yeah. And they're filled with wax and oil, which doesn't come out of carpet.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
But today, we have a guest.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God, we have a guest.
Where?
Nobody
Where?
ever
Where?
comes to visit us. They
No
don't
one-
like us.
Or listen to the show.
That too.
Neither happens ever.
But we have an up-and-coming comedian.
Ooh.
Comedian? Is that still a thing?
I don't know. Ask the guest.
Rachel Chambers, here from Atlanta. She is...
Say it again.
Joining
Hold
us-
on. You didn't do the thing.
Find the clappy hands.
I can't see.
It's...
Now do it.
Rachel Chambers.
See? Old people should never do podcasts.
No. Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Hey, I'm great.
Thanks for joining us and hanging out with us and drinking our double chocolate spaghetti flavored beer.
No.
We a couple weeks ago we had a flying spaghetti monster beer,
Flying Spaghetti Botster.
and you should have drank it out of that glass.
I should have, because apparently this one has spaghetti in it. That's what
It
Rick
was
is
peanut
saying.
butter, but
It
now it's
was.
spaghetti.
Yeah, now it's spaghetti. So
Oh,
Rachel did have a cocktail, but she is
Yes.
unable to join us in tasting this beer because she is gluten intolerant.
but she did say that it was one of her favorite beers, so she already knows what it tastes
She
like.
already knows what it tastes like.
I don't think I've ever had it before, and I just tasted it. See, have you tasted it?
Not yet, because it's too pretty. It's too pretty. I
It's
don't
very
wanna touch
dark.
it.
It's very dark as
gorgeous.
beers go. Double
And this
chocolate.
looked like chocolate milk when it first went in the glass.
I have another comment about
it's
it.
magic.
I'm gonna say it should be. See what you think. Do you like it? Good. What do you think? One word.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, wait until I try it again.
Oh, I thought you were gonna get really fat drinking this. To me, I would say double coffee.
Yeah.
It's very coffee.
Yes, very coffee. There's a lot of coffee going on there, but they say it's a double chocolate stout. And the can,
Chocolate
if my
coffee
eyes work,
has a thingy in it.
don't shut up. Doesn't say anything about coffee, but it's a stout. So don't most stouts have coffee flavor?
I don't know. I don't.
See?
Oh.
See?
Yeah, that's what I said. There's the thing. It's because of the
Oh, he
nitro
believes
thing.
it
Yeah.
now.
You know what that reminds me of? Oh, it's sad. This reminds me of the sound that they made in Gringotts to
When you
keep
had
the
to sit on the
dragon
street and beg.
from. I don't know. Are you guys Harry Potter fans?
You made me
Fans,
watch
not
every Harry
fanatics.
Potter film.
Okay, sorry. I'm a fanatic.
Yeah, you made
I
me
play
watch
2
it.
Harry Potter games on my phone that take all day long, and I've watched all of the movies several times over and read the books, and I'm currently listening to them as well. So, anyways, moving on. That's my neurosis. Rachel, thank you for joining us. I'm surprised you did, because we're not good people.
Oh, we're
Oh,
excellent.
yeah. That's
people.
how I make my choices.
we-
Are you good people?
Are you good people?
All right, so there's a couple of things we want to talk about. Now, I don't guess that I really knew exactly what you did for a living, which sounds interesting in itself. My interest is that you, should we say graduated? Did you graduate?
Yeah.
You went through stand-up comedy university, kind of a class, right?
It's called Lace Larrabee's Laugh Lab.
What?
Is that local?
Yeah, it's very
Oh.
local.
So, local lace.
Well, okay.
Okay.
You wanted to alliterate, I get it. Yes, it's...
It's hard to
we
say after a
practiced at
cocktail.
the punchline. It was It's Lace Larrabee. She's a local Atlanta comedian. She's been doing this for like...
Lace? Lace
That's
Larrabee.
Yeah. She's beautiful. She's a former beauty queen. Or like, she
Lace
still has all the
Larrabee.
practices of the beauty queen world.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she started doing comedy, and she wanted to make it more accessible for other women in Atlanta. And she's really changed the face of Atlanta comedy.
Okay. And what made you decide to sign up?
Well,
Is this something you've always wanted to do, and then you just said, I'm going to go for it?
yeah, I actually tried to create my own comedy group.
Yeah?
Never
Like
having
sketch?
had
Oh,
stand up and sketch and like
What?
no holds barred.
that's what we want to do with
Yeah.
our lives.
I'm a big
when we're
sketch comedy
rich.
fan. Not as much improv. I've done a little bit of improv, but I'm kind of a sketch comedy nerd.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
so
try
who
to
are
do
you,
that.
who
so
are
many
your sketch
times.
influences?
Oh,
What is sketch? What
No,
are you talking
well,
about?
Like, is it the state
It's a
or
great
Kids in the
question.
Hall or like who?
I have no idea right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't think of any.
I can't.
Do
No,
you
You
like-
just
not
love
a
the
name.
What do you think of
idea of it.
SNL? Do you like
I
Saturday
love
Night Live?
SNL. Yeah, I love SNL. I love the Wendy Brigade thing.
Matt, is that the Mad?
The Brigade.
Citizens Brigade.
Thank you.
Upright,
Upright.
upright
Then
sitters.
Citizens.
Sitters.
Yeah.
You know,
The
they just had to
Citizens.
close their comedy theater in New York mostly
Well,
because of COVID. And
A
stuff.
lot of people have had to close their comedy theaters. Yeah. I hope it's not closed for good. But
So you
Super
wanted
curious
to
how
you
they-
wanted to do your own comedy group, and then you were like, well, screw it, I'm just gonna go do it.
Oh, I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
I'd never even done stand up, so it was really stand up focused. But I just knew that I could make people laugh at work.
Yeah.
Pretty loudly, and that was a good feeling. I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
I wanted to put good in the world.
So you never been on stage before
I
doing
did
it
one
at
time, and I bombed. It was so marvelous.
all.
It was great. It was.
well, you need that experience. I
Very
mean,
humbling.
honestly, you need that so that you know what it feels like. But then you had that, and then you kept going.
Yeah, I wanted to create a group because for the same reason Lace did, and then so I tried. I put poured my heart and soul into it, and then it was like because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I had a great group of people, but again, and then that's when I found out about Laces, and I was like, oh, I didn't have to do this by myself, so I registered as soon as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really, it's
Was it worth it?
it's fantastic. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would wish I could do it again right now. You know, I would be doing level 2.
Now,
in a
does it?
heartbeat.
Oh.
It costs money, right?
No, it's all free.
Shut up. Is it like?
I think it was around $300 or $400
For how long?
for like a 6-week thing.
That's
Oh,
not
okay.
bad at all.
That's not bad
really.
at all.
No.
It was not bad. It was. I mean, it hurt a little, but that's how I knew I really wanted it.
Yep.
How many people in your class?
About 15, which
Oh, that's
was
not
a full
bad.
class.
That's awesome to
And then
have
you're-
that small of a group of
right.
people.
It
yeah.
was super intimate. I love all the ladies that I did the class with, and you're guaranteed a solid 5 when you graduate, which is something that most stand-up comedians, like we
Yeah.
bump around in the dark and then you eventually stumble onto it, but we have a solid 5. because of
Nice.
that course.
Nice. Okay.
And
So-
that for people not in comedy is 5 minutes.
Yep.
And usually, so like when you're doing comedy, 5 minutes, you want a really good 5 minutes, because if you're doing like,
Amateur night.
I was going to say
or-
Letterman, which no one does
That's-
Letterman anymore.
Well, no, they aren't, because Letterman isn't a thing.
Not anymore. That's
You're
how old
old.
I am. But if you're doing TV spot or something, you need a good solid 5 minutes.
Yes.
And then, so if you're going to MC, what does MC do? They do longer than 5, right?
Well,
do
no,
5,
they just do the
and
introduction.
then
So
feature is like 20 to 30, and then
they.
headliner is like
yeah,
an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it would be nice to have a good 15.
Go get you a good 15.
I could use a good 15.
It's $1,200.
Oh, shit. I don't have that.
Okay, so here's what I'm interested in, because I remember, like it was yesterday, I can remember my first time on stage. Funny Bone, Knoxville, Tennessee. But I didn't go through classes like that. So here's what I'm interested in. Your first, you go through the class, and we'll talk about, I wanted some detail on the class and everything, but you do the class, you got your material, and you're on stage. What they say your name, you walk out. What are you feeling?
Oh man, I expected to be fine, and I didn't have words for how many feelings I was
Yeah.
experiencing. Just like,
Was joy one of them?
no. I had never felt those kinds of feelings before.
Oh, no.
Just like, it was a little bit of nerves and a little bit of what am I doing, and a whole lot. And then after coming off the stage, I was like, I don't know, I don't have anywhere to put all this energy. Like, it was excitement.
But you were like, I'm doing that again.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
absolutely.
And you wrote everything.
Oh yeah.
But basically based on the class. So the process was basically you just writing and refining through the whole thing. And do you get up and perform in front of the people that are in the class and kind of keep it going? Did you have to pair off, and did you get a lot of feedback? Did you get
I mean, there's clearly
did
peer
you co-write?
reviews.
Yep.
Yeah.
No co-writing, but we would give each other tags. They told us the right proper terminology for things. That was, hey, I've got a tag for this joke. You know, if you hear someone say it and you're like, wow, why aren't you going for this pun? And that was the coolest thing. One of my really great, inside of this class, I made really great friends with Sarah, and one of her jokes, she was performing in front of us all, and she was like, yeah, and that's what you get at what is it, at the airport?
The TSA.
Terminal, Terminal's TNA.
Oh.
And so she had a tits and ass joke.
Nice.
She didn't even hear until she performed live, and we were like, "Yeah, TNA," because it was a butt joke. So it was
Yeah.
just like, I mean, it was amazing what came out as funny. That we would write. You know, I would take notes all day at work, and never think they were going to go anywhere. And then I'd just get up on stage, I'd look at my notes, and be like, "Well, this is what's coming out now." And
That's
then
exciting, because
that's
in
how
a
you know what
class-
jokes stick.
Yeah, because in a class you have the opportunity to do that. They're not a real audience yet, but they're all there for the same reason. So they're going to be open to your jokes, but they're also going to critique you in a trusting way.
Totally. It
Yeah.
was the most supportive. It's also ladies only. I think I
Nice.
forgot to mention that. So it was really
So it's sexist is what you're telling
No,
me.
shut up.
right.
So who are your heroes? Who did you study a lot?
I love Leslie Knope.
Okay. But that's kind of a character.
I mean, yeah,
right?
she's a character.
Right.
She's Amy Poehler.
The name that came to mind was Leslie Knope.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Amy Poehler. I love Tina Fey. I love
Yeah.
I love Tiffany Haddish. I love Nick Offerman. I watch a lot of comedians.
Okay.
Doing
So you're a
stand-up.
fan of Parkins and Rex,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's
Yeah.
all I've been watching during quarantine.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm watching it over again. So that's why I'm like,
All these people.
Parks and Rec characters.
Yeah. That's awesome.
John Mulaney is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love John
Yep,
Mulaney.
I like him.
Mike Birbiglia.
Okay.
Yeah, the huge, I think. I think they're pretty standard.
So there's a comedian, I think he recently did something new, but he hit me really hard back in 1991 or 92. What, were you born then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brat.
Jake Johansson. I don't know if you're familiar.
He's still around.
No, but I'll
He's
Google it.
he's still around. He is like one of my top faves. I also like
I can't remember. Look him up because he just was opening for like somebody huge band or something like that. I just read that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
recently,
I think I did too. But yeah, he
remember
had
the
this bit about aliens, and I literally fell in love with him watching that bit. Like,
It's romantic.
it was very. He doesn't know I exist. It's okay. I'm fine with it. I still love him.
Well, I'll Google your crush.
Jake Johansson, do it.
It sounds like Jake
He's an old guy
Gyllenhaal
now.
and Scarlett Johansson. had
Yeah.
a baby.
Oh wow. No, it doesn't look anything like him. But
Bummer.
yes, awesome.
80s comic
Yes,
during the first big comedy wave.
because I am an old
Yeah.
person.
I'm an old.
I'm an old.
All right. So what I want to do is go in and talk a little bit about the classes. But first, would you rather? Let's play a little game of Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
I think that you should go first, and
Just so
I will
Rachel can
read
see how
your-
it's done.
Yeah, I'll read your question. What we do is we drop a color stone, and then I read a Would You Rather question, and then you tell me what you would rather do.
And some of these are really stupid. Be prepared.
I think most of them.
Pretty sure I played
That's
this at my
pretty
first
stupid.
college party.
All right, there you go. You know,
It's blue.
blue.
We've
all
been
right.
blue. Okay.
I
All
think
night
we're
we've been
all blue. Appearances and embarrassment. Would you rather have to pick someone's nose? Oh God, or swallow a teaspoon of their spit?
Ew.
Well, who is it though? If it's Jake Johansson, I'm all about the spit, baby.
Why would you want to
These things.
swallow Jake Joe? Why wouldn't you pick his nose? Why would you want to swallow his spit?
Well-
I don't know. I don't even want to know. I'm not pretend like I didn't ask that question. I do not care.
Well, I would hope that the spit would be transferred into my mouth while making out profusely. I hate you.
All right.
On a
that's
lot of
very
levels.
different. The vehicle is like a game changer. I have a real weird like aversion to methods of spit transfer.
Well, I'm
That
not
seems
just going to have him
crazy.
spit in a glass. and
That
I'll
it's a teaspoon.
drink
You're
it.
measuring it out. He's going to have to spit into it.
I-
Where are you going to collect a teaspoon of
I think
spit?
you can just
I
kind
gotta
of
go.
guess based on how long you're making out, how
break
much
into
spit
his
transfer
DNA
is actually
testing and go, I
happening.
need that.
I mean, I don't know. I could have him make out with one of those. What is those things? It looks like it's like it looks like a flashlight, but a dude uses it for like.
A bong? Is that
No.
what you're talking about? You're
It's-
talking about a bong?
Flashlight?
I'm talking.
A
It's a
fleshlight.
flashlight.
A
Yeah.
fleshlight, yeah.
So I could just have him make out with a flashlight for a
pocket
while.
pussy.
Yeah, until I find out how long it takes him to make out and transfer a teaspoon of spit, and then he can make out with me for that long, and then I would know.
Wow.
Okay.
It's
You thought
science.
about this before?
You know, Jake
Testing.
Johansson is definitely going to do this podcast at this point. I think we should ask him.
Well, I think if we tell him that Rachel Chambers has done it, he will.
That's
be all
true.
over
I
it.
mean, now, with other comedy legends
That's right.
would want to do that.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Um,
I didn't really get to do stand up after the class
So you want-
because of quarantine, and that one of the things they were very clear about is like you gotta put the work in.
so you would
Oh,
rather
yeah.
you would rather drink the spit.
I would.
Is that what you're saying? All right.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
because if I put my finger in his nose, I'll hurt him.
You don't know
Why are you
that.
I could
being that
scratch him.
aggressive?
I mean,
I could accidentally scratch him
You don't
Alright.
have to dig for gold.
and
It's just
cause
a
like
friend's-
some sort of infection. Or something.
all right, it's
Wow.
my turn. I'm dropping a stone. I'm dropping a color right now.
It's red.
It's a red one. Look,
gonna
a
read
red,
for
I
you.
feel like a red stone is like turning orange. Anyway, red.
because it sits under this thing, this magical light that you have going
The
on.
Red.
listeners can't see it. It's okay.
Red.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's red, and
Would I
red
rather?
stands for pain, fear, and
Ow.
discomfort, which
Oh,
I have all
no.
of right now.
Okay.
So would you rather be forced to watch the sound of music continually for 48 hours?
That was my punishment when I was a child.
Thank you. I was gonna say.
I
the
think
same
your
thing.
mom might have done that to
Mm-hmm.
you. I think she did. Or
My heels were alive. Go ahead.
my heels are
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
or drive cross country with Barry Manilow singing on the radio the whole time. I totally know what I
Barry
would do
Manilow.
I would do Manilow, man.
all day long
Manilow
every
live.
day.
That's
I would
different
definitely
songs,
would.
right? It's not the same
by
song.
choice. Yeah, and
Shoot.
it's live on the radio. Barry Manilow singing on the radio
I
the whole
love
time.
Manilow.
It doesn't say live, but still.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not a big Sound of Music fan, but it's not the worst musical in the world. I can think of worse things. That's not a. I mean, it's not like
That's not a
drinking
hard- yeah, I
Jake
would happily-
Johansson's spit. But I would go with Manilow easily.
All right.
I'm not anti Manilow.
So I'm going to read Rachel's question
Do you
too,
wanna drop
because she
Stone?
gets to drop a stone. It's her turn.
Drop stone. Drop stone.
Do it. It's red.
Red.
Okay. It's also.
Would you like to drink Barry Manilow's spit?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a different
I
question.
will barf a
I'll
little bit. I'm
pass
barfing in
on
my
that one,
brain.
actually. Pain, fear, or discomfort. These are your question category. Would you rather, Rachel, have to go to an interview with the stomach flu?
Uh-oh.
I've done that. Or have to go.
Wait a minute. Are you interviewing with the stomach flu? The stomach flu is interviewing you?
It's not that deep. It you
could
have
be.
the stomach flu and you have to go to a job interview.
Mr. Stomach Flu, I really want this job. What can I
stop.
do to get it?
Please stop making me shit myself. So
Yes,
I can get
please. I need the job. Okay. Go to an interview with the stomach flu. Or have to go to an interview after staying out drinking until 3 a.m. the night before, which I've also done.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done both. So
The
this is
results
not
are the
hard.
same.
I mean,
Basically.
yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm running for the bathroom once the dinner's over anyway.
Yeah.
But which one do you think you'd be more prepared for the
drinking
interview?
the night before.
Yeah, I mean, you get
Okay.
the same
'Cause then
results,
you also
so
have
you
hair of
might
the
as
dog.
well.
Yeah.
You can
And then
just
you go
keep
in more
drinking.
confident.
You might as well enjoy the stomach bug you're giving yourself.
I mean, yeah. I'm with you. I do the drinking the night before, too. Absolutely.
All right, so we're both a little bit into the stand-up comedy. We both like the comedy.
We all like
Right?
the comedy.
Yeah.
But you've not taken a comedy class.
I've never
I
have.
haven't taken a comedy class. I just want to know why. What was the decision that you just kind of said, by gosh, I'm doing this. I'm taking a class. Is it because you just felt inadequate? And
Ouch.
No, she said she wanted to start a class a comedy group and realized she didn't have
And
quite
it
as
didn't
much
work
experience.
out, yeah.
But I mean, that's a commitment. Put down the money, go to a class for 6 weeks. I mean, a lot of people don't do that.
What drove you to do it?
I needed the structure. So it wasn't that I felt inadequate at all. I actually started realizing this is really something I want to do.
Okay.
And I need, structure. I need people that know what they're doing. Even if it hadn't been as great as it was, just like being like, I'm gonna go to this place for this long of time. I'm gonna commit this much of my life to it, and
this much money.
That's how you get results. You commit and you go and you do the actions, and then you end up with a really solid 5.
Nice.
Do you have a solid 5?
I do. I can
Do you think
actually
so?
say that. I do. Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
See, my problem when I did stand up, I broke one of the major rules. I don't know if this is a major rule, but what I would do is I would write my material and I would perform it, and then I don't know what 40% of the material might have done well, the rest of it bombed. I would take every bit of that and throw it away, and then I would write new material. I would keep that 40%, but then I'd write all new material. Instead of trying to make the other percentage, the 60%, better, I would just throw it away, and I would start over. And I got really bored with the material really quick. And so I don't know. I just didn't have a lot of patience to polish. I always wanted, and I would be like, this is even funnier. And I'd put in something funny. So I was always putting in brand new stuff. I don't know. You're not supposed to do that, I don't think.
So this might make you feel a little bit on the spot, but are you prepared to give us a solid 2.5?
No, she can't do that. Then she won't have 5.
That's
to
true,
give.
because then it
'Cause
would
they'd
be on
blow
our
it.
podcast.
Yeah,
and then
everybody would
nobody
be using it.
They'd go, yeah.
I would be in the stand-up clubs
sorry.
doing her 2.5.
Smack my hand.
Then I only have to come up with another 2.5 to do. I've got a solid 5.
Smack my hand. I am ashamed.
Yeah.
I am ashamed.
He's trying to get her tell her story, her whole. Well,
Trying
go
to
see
steal
a
my
show.
set.
Go see a show.
As soon as she's on stage, I'm going.
So you're gonna
Can't
do it
wait.
again? Are you doing it again?
I can't wait. I mean, we were gearing up the week that we shut down Atlanta. We were all
Oh, that's the
we as
thing.
people have taken this little thing called
I forgot about that.
quarantine.
COVID-19.
Really boned us. We were all planning on going to like 3 or 4 open mics a night. I mean,
Yeah.
a week. That's the cool thing is now we got like a group of ladies. We can all go and do these open mics and practice and practice and practice. And that is, I was very afraid of the same thing you mentioned. Like, I get so bored so fast. That's also why I wanted to do comedy. I definitely was afraid of getting bored of my work, but that's one thing they drill into you. Like, you never know. You never know. Like, the audience is its own ingredient. Like, different people are going to react differently to different your set, and so
you do the exact same show one day, it kills. The exact same show the next day, not one laugh.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
And nothing. It's not really anything you do. There's a weird group mentality, and a lot of times, it just doesn't have anything to do with you.
Because Rick and I oftentimes think that we're funny.
Well, we bomb all the time.
Because ain't nobody listening.
you laugh at each other.
And I think I've said it on the podcast, but my very first try, my first time on stage, I remember because I was a theater major, so I was used to performing. And so, but it was the first time I'd ever done this. I wrote, and man, I remember some of the jokes, the hack jokes. I mean, really bad. But so I was nervous, and I remember they open the doors and tons of people start coming in, and I'm like, holy shit, I almost backed out. So I remember, because I'm not a big drinker, and so I just thought, I'm going to get some Jack and Coke.
Okay.
So I got a Jack and Coke, I started drinking it, and I started really feeling loose, so I thought, this is great. And so I got up, did my first joke, boom, laugh. Oh, that's awesome. Did my second one, laugh. And I don't know if I would say kill, but it was very successful, and I was flying. I was like, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm coming back next week. So I come back next week, same material. Got to have a Jack and Coke. I did it the first week. Might as well do it again.
Yeah.
Had the Jack and Coke. I got up, same material, not one laugh.
Nope.
I bombed the second week. Horrible.
Ouch. I bet that hurt. I bet it did.
It was, well, what it was like, so I actually have to work at this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's going to take a while. It's not like a natural thing that I'm just going to be able to pop out and do every time. So that was when I realized, okay, this is a challenge.
See, for me, a good comedian knows delivery. And if you don't know your delivery, you're going to bomb every time. You can have an extremely funny joke, but if you don't deliver it properly,
sure,
it's going to go over people's heads.
That's what the open mics, that's what the performances are. You just constantly tweak how you say what you say. One word doesn't work, and you take that out, substitute another word. It turns out that's funnier. There's just some really, really small little things that can work to fine tune, and that's your whole career, is fine tuning what you do.
You know who I think has really good delivery?
Me, and I appreciate you saying that.
No, Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard's good.
Eddie Izzard has amazing delivery.
Yeah.
And his eyes, the way that he moves his face. Mm-hmm. Obviously, not everybody in the audience can see it, but he does it animatedly enough that people farther back can see it. Mm-hmm. And he delivers just with his body language and with his facial twerks.
Yeah.
Twerks? No, quirks. He doesn't twerk with his face. If he twerks with his face, I have an issue.
I'm trying to remember. I saw Mark Maron here in Atlanta at the Laughing Skull, and I can't.
Recently?
Did we? Was it
This
you?
was with me.
Did you? It was you?
Yeah. It was me.
Okay, we were at the Laughing Skull?
Yes.
Because I saw him once with Maria at Variety Playhouse.
No, you and I came. We lived in Chattanooga, and we drove to
Yeah,
Atlanta.
because I was wearing a kilt.
To go to
and
Vortex.
I brought him. I brought him the tartan yarmulke.
Yeah. Backstory. Sorry. Tartan yarmulke.
But and I'm a Maron fan.
That's my new favorite band. By the way,
I'm a Mark Maron fan, but he was more like a jazz artist than
he actually sat on a stool and he talked to us. It was very conversational, only one-sided. There wasn't a whole lot of interaction, but he did kind of do this where you feel like you're having a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody who just delivers jokes and expects response, that's not as conversational.
Well, you just knew that he's been doing this for a while because he would respond to audience things, and I knew, because some of the stuff I had heard before, and some of the stuff I've heard since, but I knew some of his stuff. I was like, okay, that's his routine. But sometimes it was just like he would riff. He would just go, and that's when I just really kind of felt like, I mean, you just kind of watch him and you just go, okay, this is like a masterful stand-up act, in the style of jazz. I mean, he's one of the first original alternative comics. And so he's just a lot of times off script,
Yeah.
but not always.
And it doesn't always work out when you go off script.
But he was just, his attitude, and I think that night was just really good too for him. So
From what I've
like that.
observed,
He's so nice.
yeah, he's a super neat guy. I love the fact that he loves kitties. And that's the one thing I love about him. But you when you discover what kind of stand-up you like, you realize, do you like observational comedy, like, say, Janine Garofalo or somebody like that? Or do you like, just jokes like Jim Gaffigan, who just kind of throws out jokes? It's about his family. It's personal, but it's just jokes. And you laugh, and then you're done, and then you move on to the next one, and so on and so forth. Or do you like conversational comedy? And so I think that's something you'd want to know before you get into it and actually get on stage. Because once you get on stage and you get seen, unfortunately, that's kind of what you're known for. Do you know? I feel like comics or comedians get stuck. They get typecasted
Yeah.
more than anybody else. So what is your comedy type?
I have baby legs.
Baby legs.
When you're
don't-
writing, do you write for a character of yourself, do you think? Because
yeah.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
times, like especially in stand-up, you are kind of a character. Even if you're playing yourself, you're kind of a broader caricature of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to watch what actually comes out. Like, that was the coolest thing. Is like, I originally, when I started, I was like, I'll be this kind of a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do this and I'll do this, and it's completely different once you get up there. Like, I have all the best laid plans in the world, and then I get up there and it's like,
Yeah. Of course. Isn't that true of anything and everywhere and everybody? Yes.
Yeah. And then I tried. We do have a graduation show as part of the class. So I got up there and I tried to stick something in that I hadn't practiced, like just 3 little, like, silly little words. I was trying to take care of my parents because I was raised super Christian, and then I live my life now. And I tried to, like, cushion the blow, like, I was making jokes that kind of had them at the brunt, and I was trying to, like, protect them and be like,
Yeah.
they were good parents, but
Mm-hmm.
and I lost it, and then I had to completely, like, revise the joke on the spot.
That must be tough.
It was a great learning experience. I can't wait to get out there and do it again, though,
Yeah.
because, like, practice makes perfect. It's so cliche, but it's
Yeah.
so true.
I'm so excited. I want to come. I want you to let me.
Yeah, you
let
should
us
invite
both
us.
I
know.
would love that. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how things evolve. I mean, it's a really tough time to be alive right now, but I know that we're gonna create some really awesome things.
Yeah.
And I could not be. I mean, our show was like, it was the Sunday before. I think they were like, don't go anywhere.
So that must have been March 15th.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Because my first day in quarantine was March 13th,
Yeah.
which we were practicing for what we thought would be a quarantine, and my whole team had to work from home on March 13th, and then we got that Friday. It was Friday the
Wow.
13th. That afternoon, they're like, yeah, that's it. Nobody else in the office. So Saturday, I ran to the office, and I got everything I needed
intense.
to work from home because I was not set up to work from home. I pulled my monitors. I pulled my docking station. I pulled all my things. I'm like, I'm making this work. And we're not going back to work for another 6 weeks, at least.
Yeah, I have no idea how the film industry is gonna come.
I
back
don't
from this.
either. I don't either.
No clue. I can't wait to see it, but
Speaking of film industry, I don't think we mentioned it yet. Rachel is actually an on-set designer for the on-set
Thank you for the-
dresser.
thank you for the pay bump.
I mean, yeah, that would be a pay bump, wouldn't
Yes.
it be? I actually know a set designer. I might hook you up. But yeah, so she's an on-set dresser, which basically means that you take what the designer puts and you make it happen.
You're like a costumer for the set.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm responsible for the integrity of the set dressing. So anything that's like dressed into the set with the decorator and the production designer.
What's the difference in that and a prop master? I mean,
Great question, Rick. If you're an actor, the props are what you
Anything
directly
you hold,
interact
yes.
with. So if that, a pen you've got in your hand, your mic, like your thing, and there is a lot of we work together. We do work. Well, ideally, the props department and the art department work together. So if there's set dressing on the set, and they're like, hey, we really need, for them to have some books. Like, we'll be like, okay, you can use these, but not these because these aren't cleared.
Okay.
We do work together. It's really nice.
And by cleared, you mean that you can't look at this book because the person who published this book didn't say it's okay?
Yeah, and if they see that we use their book, then we have to pay them a lot of money.
So it's like
Right.
art. If you hang a piece of art, you got to get a rights clearance for that.
And now is that your responsibility?
No, but it
Okay.
is my responsibility. Like I'm on set, so I'm there when camera's rolling, and I'm there. So I move all the furniture out of the area where camera is going, so they can set up their shot, and then they're looking one way, and then when they switch and they go to the other side, I have to put all the furniture right back as it was, while also somehow magically, I have 8 arms. I should have mentioned that I'm an octopus.
This is true. I've seen it.
Yeah, moving all the other furniture and stuff out of the way of where camera now is, and also same for grip and electric. It's really fun. Very challenging job. A lot of high stress in a good way.
Long hours.
Very.
Can you mention some
Don't
shows
miss
you've
that
worked
part.
on?
Actually, I just right before quarantine, I was on Respect, which is a Aretha Franklin biopic, and Jennifer Hudson did a killer job.
Wow.
Killer job doing that. And Mark Maron was on that.
Neat.
I remember him talking about being in Atlanta shooting on that, but I
Okay,
don't think I
yeah.
knew that. Maybe I did, but I don't think I knew that was it. Did you get to
That's
meet him?
why
you
yeah,
ask
he
him
was
for
super
tips?
nice.
Stand-up tips?
No, but my friend is like a huge fan, and she was like really excited, and he
Yeah.
was so gentle with her. He was so kind. He was going to be potential. That's why I thought maybe you saw him recently, because he was telling her that he might be playing at Laughing Skull.
Oh, probably just picking up some dates
Yeah.
while he's here.
Yeah, why not?
I don't think it ended up happening, but it would have been really cool.
It's a nice, intimate little spot. For those
like
of you in Atlanta, if you know Vortex, it's not the one on Little Five. It's the one
Midtown.
Midtown. It's also connected with Laughing Skull.
Yeah.
And Laughing Skull is a very intimate, small.
Really small.
So good.
Last
Yeah.
comic I saw there was Emo Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. But, well, I'm not going to say that.
Okay,
Because
don't
he'd
say
probably say this. I was just going to say, he's so old.
No, stop it. So are you.
I know, that's what I'm saying, because I started listening to him in the 80s, and he's brilliant. The same comedy, but it was just like, he just looked so young then, and now he's so old. And I took my picture with him,
That is
and
how time
I looked
works,
so
Rick.
old too, so. Huh?
That is how time works.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
It's linear. We
Yeah.
get older.
But he's still sharp and still funny and still good.
Awesome.
I saw Maria Bamford there.
Oh,
I
that would
love
be great.
Maria Bamford. Have you been
not
watching
10
her?
years, but-
Have you been watching her quarantine?
She's doing a quarantine thing?
She
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
I love her. See, I wish that I had thought of her name first when you asked me my heroes, because she.
It's
when I
okay.
saw
You
her
can
YouTube thing-
go ahead. And,
Yeah. Okay.
Fit that
cool. Is this
Yeah,
okay?
just keep on, keep on.
I saw her YouTube series where she plays every single member of her family.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
do voices like that. So I
Yes.
was just like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. Well,
Well,
I mean, debatable, because
I wouldn't go
she's
that
open
far.
about mental health too.
Yeah.
I think she's in the line of like Jonathan Winters, Robin Williams, and Maria Bamford. I
Yep.
think that she's in that kind of
She's in that realm.
yes.
That same kind of, it just comes out
Yeah.
kind
And
of
no one
realm.
else is doing that.
Yeah.
It just kind
And
of
I
died
love
off with
it.
Robin Williams, and I think that she's doing
But
that.
she's been doing it
Yeah.
for a while now.
Yeah.
And I feel like
and
because she's a female comic, she doesn't get the same respect and
Well-
or recognition as some of the male comics that do the same thing she does.
You're probably right, but she's getting a whole lot more now than she used to, and I just
Yeah.
feel like now I watch her now, and I'm almost like, finally, people are starting to
Yes.
catch on.
I agree.
But if she's going to be, did you say she's going to be, or was it
Oh, this
you
was
saw
like
her?
7, 8, 9. This is probably 10 years ago.
Oh wow!
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what she's sharing on her Instagram. I don't know, but she's been sharing on her Instagram some what I feel like is quarantine related information.
She has like a
But I
a
could have
little
been drunk.
show.
So-
she has her own show.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
She has Lady Dynamite, and then she has like an untitled YouTube Maria Bamford special. It's
Yep.
hysterical. It takes a little while to get into, but
She has one where she's interviewing people, and I don't know the word she's using, but that have like anxieties or mental quirks.
Okay. Okay.
And I can't remember. It's a very funny title for it, but basically it's just like we're all screwed up or something.
I mean,
like
yeah,
that.
we are basically
And so
all
she,
screwed up.
but some of like they'll talk about like kind of get into serious discussion on mental illness,
Yeah.
but then it's with comedians. So
Yeah.
I feel like she's one of the, I don't know if this has to do with why she may or may not be getting credit, like your point was, but she's definitely been a lot more transparent and vulnerable about mental health. I really appreciate that, though.
Yes, I do too. I appreciate anybody that speaks out about it and can laugh at it and can still be genuine about it and can admit that they have it.
one of the episodes of Mark Maron's WTF, this has been several years ago, he and Maria Bamford were in a car driving, and they did the whole show that way.
That's
It was
so
pretty
awesome.
funny. Yeah.
That is so great.
I don't know if you could find that episode. It's a long time ago.
We got Google now, though.
That's a thing.
Yeah. But some of those old shows, I think you got to pay for.
If only we had this thing where we could look things up.
Are you going to do a podcast?
Magically.
All comics have to do a podcast.
Actually, have one. Yes, I love that I'm here seeing your setup, and I have a ton of questions. But
Sure.
I actually wanted to do a podcast before I was really set on doing comedy because I wanted to do a sex education podcast.
Ooh.
We've talked about doing some.
But we would be bad
Oh,
educators. We would
Well,
be really
we talked
bad.
about having a sex therapist on the show.
Oh, you were being serious. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Sherry kind of is our relationship specialist.
I'm the
and
expert.
We've talked about doing a show all about sex facts, and I think we will at some point.
Yeah.
But I wanted to have like a sex therapist on the show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and talk about. So, I mean, we don't do a whole. We're not going to do a whole podcast about it.
Why
But-
not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. We could totally do it.
It's so easy to talk about sex. I was actually
talk
recording a
about
couple
sex.
episodes. It was just
Just you doing it.
Oh no,
or
I had
having
friends.
guests.
I had.
Uh-huh.
I actually
got
had
friends.
Too many. Yeah, I have too many friends.
She got friends.
I had I actually had too many. Let me finish the sentence before. I had too many friends in one room. The first episode, it was like 5 of us, and it was great. I think we got a ton of material, but it was just like so much. I mean, everybody people wanted to talk about way more intense things than I was prepared to talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just supposed to be like, how are you talking about stuff? And
Yeah.
people volunteered really, they just were they just let it all hang out. And
Is that
Wow.
something you could have broken up into several episodes?
I think that's what I will do. If when not if when I get back to it is using that as something to pull from,
Yeah.
and intersperse, and I think that's what that's what editing's for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's pretty good at it. Not the greatest, but he's all right. And also, we wanted to include a little sketch comedy into this
Yeah.
podcast. So perhaps you could assist us with that, and you could be one of our special guests on a regular basis.
It's always been a goal to do some sketch because I love radio comedy. I love some of the old kind of stuff, National Lampoon stuff, and Nichols and May, and all that kind of stuff. Old kind of sketch radio.
Do you think she
sketch
knows who
comedy.
Nichols and May are? Do you know who Nichols and May are?
I know what a nickel is, and I know when May is.
All right. Honey, I didn't even know who Nichols and May
You know who?
I got Google.
You know who Stiller and Mira is? You got to do some research.
No, it's
I'm never not.
Ben
gonna have
Stiller's
much to do.
parents
Oh,
used to do sketch
yeah, I
comedy.
guess he came from somewhere. Huh?
Yeah.
he did actually. He didn't just
Check into
evolve.
that, and especially Nichols and May. Yeah, we wanted to do kind of some radio type sketch comedy. I think National Lampoon is what I think, and National Lampoon is now back doing that.
Yeah.
They were off for a while, but we just haven't had time. We don't get together that much. We get together just once a week to do the show. And writing and all that, and it
'cause I
usually
don't
falls
work.
onto me to do the writing. It's just like, okay, you write it, and we'll do the show, and we just haven't done it yet, but we will.
if we had some, because it can't always just be one man, one woman doing sketch comedy. You need
can be.
other people involved.
Yeah, we need other people.
So if we had other voices and other input, I think it would be a lot of fun.
Sure.
So
Love
perhaps we could work that in.
That sounds great.
Might be fun. I mean, we have a resident nurse that will come on and be on our show. We could have a resident sketch comedy person that comes on our show.
All right, so let's kind of start taking this toward the end. You recommend, because everybody, I've heard my whole life, you can't teach stand-up comedy. You've heard that?
I have not.
You haven't heard that?
No, but I tried.
But I guess that's what I'm going to say, is you're someone who would say that's not true.
I think that most of the people in there had great material to begin with, so I don't know if it's so much like the teaching.
Did you have any material at the beginning?
Oh yeah, I have, just the notes app on my phone is just full of like the dumbest little, like I'll write down weird stuff and I'll think I'll remember what it's about, and I don't, but I can use it.
But keep it all.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
it. I've learned to remind. I've learned not to rely on my memory as much as I thought I could.
Yeah,
so,
I can't
so is
either.
he.
Yeah, I
No.
had so much material, and that like I thought I didn't, and then that first day up on stage, they really were just like, "All right, show us what you got," and I opened the notes, and I just was like, "Oh yeah, that," and
Yeah, take your phone in the shower. That's where you get
That's
your
where
best
you get
ideas.
your best ideas.
But
driving
but
in the
what
shower and
I always discovered,
right
it
before
just
bed.
it always just belches everything out all at once, and it's because it's not like a little bit every day. It's just like one day you will get 20 minutes of material just in one day, and it's just nonstop, and then you're just like, holy
I
crap!
make myself laugh all fucking day long, and
But
you know what? I don't remember any of it the next day because
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
the hardest part is like writing it down in a way that captures that moment of.
And most of my comedy, because I'm alone a lot, it's just me and the dog and the cat. So basically, most of my comedy is commentary on other things. It's very Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's very much just commenting on life. And it wouldn't make any sense to anybody else unless I could describe the situation in a way that I could do quickly and to the point, and that you would get it. Like, it's not like I could go stand up on stage and just do what I do at home. That doesn't work,
Yeah,
right? You have to set a scenario and then make it funny.
I have that. That's the kind of comedy I thought I was going to be doing. Is like, I was at home talking to myself.
Uh-huh.
But then when I realized how much setup it would take to just get like a really cheap. It's not even a good laugh. It's like, why was I talking to myself about arugula? I don't.
Right? Because it's pepper. It's
'cause
peppery.
It's what
Yeah.
The setup isn't worth it. So I don't know what Lace's answer would be, but I'm sure she'd be happy to share with you. I don't know if it was a matter of teaching comedy or if it was a matter of just creating a space where we could come together and practice safely. And I know you made the joke about the sexism of having an all women's group. It is easy to we hear tons of stuff like that, and it's easy to forget the end of your sentence. But it's easy to make jokes like that. But the first class we had like some man who overheard it on the mic. This is ladies only in Atlanta, and it's at the punchline is at the Landmark Diner off Roswell Road, and he overheard it, and he barged on in, and he made a joke about dropping his pants and proving he was a woman. And it was he was trying to make a joke at his own penis's expense, I guess. Like,
Because you were a group of women.
and it was so just like landed itself. It was.
Yeah.
I
It was
don't.
so dumb. It was,
Yeah.
and it was like just the most beautiful reminder, though. Like,
Yeah.
this is exactly why we need.
I don't know. I feel like comedy's a weird beast in that a lot of comedy is inappropriate. And what I mean by that is it's one of the few art forms where you can be, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but you can be sexist, you can be racist, you can be regionalist, depending on your audience. And so I see nothing wrong with an all Asian comedy group playing before an Asian audience, or an all women comedy group playing before a women audience, because there are certain things that as a group people find funny that some other group may not find funny, and there's nothing wrong with playing to that group and playing your comedy to that group. You know, I may not do it all the time.
Or some things that other groups or other audiences wouldn't understand or even know anything about. And it wouldn't be funny to them because they don't.
I kind of picking up on what Rachel said. When I first started I was very religious. I'm religious. I was involved in Christianity, and my goal was to be a Christian comic. That's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I started in comedy clubs, and I was like, I'm going to learn everything here, and then I'm going to go perform in front of Christian audiences, because that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to open for Christian bands. I wanted to be a comedian that would go out and open for Christian, and I got to do that a little bit.
Nice.
But most of the material that I wrote for Christian audiences, that it would never have played in a comedy club. And if I wrote comedy club, so like I had a joke where it's been so long since I did it, but it was a joke about diaper commercials about babies, and then they had the babies doing all the kind of fun little things, and they were dressed like referees, and they were doing all, and I was like, if they could do that, why are they still shitting in their pants? So I couldn't say shitting in their pants in churches.
No.
And I would always have to, I can't remember what I would have to say, doo-doo in their drawers, I think is what I said.
Oh my God.
It
But
never got the
alliteration.
laugh. It never got the laugh that shitting in their pants got
No.
in the comedy club. But I couldn't do that. And so, but it just depends on, you have to look at your audience and you have to play to your audience. And you could say women playing before a group of women, they're going to be doing jokes that men just aren't going to get sometimes.
Unless they know their women very well.
But I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like culturally, if you get in front of, if you're playing a bar mitzvah and you're doing Jewish jokes, sometimes I'm not going to get what that is
More
because
than likely.
because I wasn't raised in that culture,
Right.
and so I don't see anything wrong with it personally.
So there is a female comic that I would like to do a shout out to here, who is really kind of pushing the difference between your gender and your comedy, or just your comedy, and that is Nikki Glazer. I think she's doing a really good job at just saying, I'm a comedian regardless. It doesn't matter if I have boobs or a vagina. I'm a comedian and I'm funny, and if you don't like it, suck it, whatever it is. But yeah,
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, I think I like Nikki Glazer. She's really good at roasts, right?
Yeah.
She does herself a lot. There's another female comedian that I can't stand.
Whitney Cummings.
She's
I
fine.
love Whitney.
I
I like Nikki
love
Glazer
her.
as well.
Yeah.
I think she's very talented.
Now you said there's a female comic that you can't stand.
Yeah, she does. I'm not gonna.
That's fine, but what is her
But
style?
she deals with gender stereotypes in such a way that is like so reinforcing of them.
Oh yeah.
And so heterosexual,
Yeah.
and so heteronormative, and it just drives me nuts. And I was like, I want to be the opposite of that. I actually wanted to. It's funny that you said that, and I wanted to do stand up, and I wanted to do comedy as a way of like, because I'm born and raised in the South. I wanted to use it as a tool to start like breaking down racism, which is like not. It's comedy's supposed to be funny. You're not supposed to like bring all these like serious topics, but I see it as a super effective tool. And
It is.
I'm aware of white privilege. I'm from Atlanta. I've been around. It's really easy to get bogged down and be like, there's nothing I can do. But that was a large part of why I started wanting to hone like that craft of comedy, because you get things like you get a joke with a great punchline that's gonna sink in and then have people thinking in a different way. Like that's killer. You know, it's a very steep hill.
No, I've heard several comedians say that. You get somebody plied enough with enough laughter, and they get comfortable, and they're willing to laugh, and then suddenly you throw it in there, and then you just kind of move on, and then that will sink in. The message you're trying to get out, I mean, it shouldn't be all about the message, but the message should definitely be part of what you're doing, because that's why you're doing it. And if you can get it in a way where you're just like, hey, we're all friends, we're all having a good time, we're all laughing, now think about this. Okay, let's move on. That kind of a thing. It works. It works. What was the woman that had the Netflix special, Hannah?
I was trying to think of her name just now.
Yeah.
Nanette.
Yeah.
Hannah Gatsby? No.
That's close.
But it's Nanette. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a huge. Actually, I didn't even finish the special. I think I was crying too much.
Oh, honey.
Is she
No, it was so
Australian?
good.
Was she
Yeah,
Australian?
she's Australian.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's also another. It's maybe a little cliche, but Hannah. Yeah, Hannah Nanette. We'll just call it that.
Okay.
And Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I was like, oh, these ladies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, good. I'm glad to know more about you. I've known you I've known of you and met you and been an acquaintance of yours for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah, and
minute.
thanks for being on the
Longer than
podcast
that, I
and
think.
talking about this. What we'd love to, once you do it some more, is to come back and talk about it again.
I would love that.
How you kind of like develop your act. because it go. I mean, it does. The act just kind of. It's sort of your baby. It's like a song. You just like
it grows.
You know, sometimes you'll hear a song by an artist on their album, and then you listen to them do it live, and it's like, wow, it's so different. But they perform it constantly, and so the song changes. And the same with stand up. A lot of the time, and this is so weird. It's one. I don't know. I'm saying it's one of the few art forms where, in a bizarre way, the audience helps write your material.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you listen to, and especially if you listen to your audience, which you should. I mean, they'll tell you when a word is funnier or a phrase is funnier or a delivery is funnier than how you did it before. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it happens by accident. But
yeah, I've heard interviews with Eddie Izzard who has said that he's tried a different word or a different delivery or something on a night, and it works better, and he switches it up. The next night at a next club, he does it that way.
He does his entire stand up in another language. Like it's like he does French.
He nice,
it's crazy.
Well done. I like that. Was Rachel Chambers, everybody.
Oh, I thought that was Eddie Izzard.
No, so Eddie Izzard has his. He went to Paris, France, or France, and he did an entire set.
That just blows me away.
In French, where they don't really have stand up. It's like. Well, back then, I don't know if they do now, but it wasn't like stand-up wasn't really a thing there. Like they didn't really understand it, but it was called, I think he took circus over there. Yeah. And he did, I mean, he stuck it out and he did it and he kind of got it going there. So, I mean, he didn't really go full on like Eddie Izzard over there because I don't think they were prepared for that. But he did bring it. And that's pretty amazing. I think he's also done a full set in Belgium.
Well, thanks to Rachel for bringing it to our podcast.
Absolutely.
Please come back. Let us know how you do. We're going to talk about this beer. What do we? What do we think of
this
the
is
beer?
how we end the podcast, Rachel. I don't know if you've ever listened to our podcast.
No one's listened to it.
What we do is we will rate this beer, and then we say where you can find us and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What do you think?
I mean, it's a chocolate stout.
Double chocolate stout. Giving it a 3.5. That's what I'm doing.
Wow.
3.5 out of 5.
You should try it again in fall. I think you'll have a different.
It is a fall beer.
It's definitely a fall.
And it's the kind of beer I think you can actually make like a cupcake with. I bet it'd be a good baking beer.
Let's do that.
Yeah. 3.5. I'm giving it. What are you giving it?
3. Out of what?
3?
Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3 because it's a good chocolate stout. It's not overbearing. It's not like soup. But again, I would call it a coffee stout.
I was going to say it's a double coffee.
I don't think it's chocolate.
I didn't
don't
taste a lot of chocolate. I tasted a lot of coffee.
Again,
but it's good. It's enjoyable, and especially if you like those kind of dark, kind of musky, chocolatey coffee beers.
Well, it's a stout. Where does it land on our periodic table of beers?
I don't know. See if you can find it.
She has found it.
All right.
She has found it. It is number 35. It
awesome.
is a sweet stout. And it is, they call it a double chocolate, but again, I'm calling it a double coffee. Mm-hmm. There's Rachel Chambers.
All right.
And it's a Young's double chocolate stout. Alcohol 5.2.
Well, thanks for listening. You can find This Epic Disaster every Monday we come out. Please subscribe because then when you subscribe, it automatically is downloaded to your device.
And you'll never forget about us.
But come hang out with us on Facebook. We are around on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're very much on YouTube. You can listen to the shows on YouTube.
You just can't see us.
And you can drop us a line at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Tell us what you think of the show. Tell us if we need to do anything more. Tell us if we need more guests. Tell us if you want to come see Rachel perform. Because I know you do.
And we'll tell you when you can.
That's right. And we'd just like to hear from you. If you listen to the show, tell us if you like it. And otherwise, we're always around on Monday, and we hope that you come and hang out with us. We're going to be doing some live Zooms, so please Zoom with us.
Yes.
Say hi to us.
Zoom.
Hang out. It's free.
It's totally fun,
We won't make fun of you. We'll let you play.
We will.
We'll let you play, what's this game called?
It's called Would You Rather.
We'll let you play that game again. So,
but bring your own beverage because we can't supply beer.
No, we won't do that, but we will supply the game. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next Monday on This Epic Disaster. I thought that was a goat.
It did sound like a goat. It sounded like a goat. This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.